Observe and said I'm going to be shutting off this assembly, and you got everything written down. We're going to start cleaning our test port. So test cock number 1, close. Test cock number 2. Only require one hose here. Goes to the high side and make sure all your handles are closed from the previous test. Hooking it up to test cock number 2. Oh, test cock number 2 would help. There we go, sprayed myself where I shouldn't. That's what happens when you start rushing.
Just breathe, calm down.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I did this for 5 minutes, so you calm down. Yeah, still out of the system.
That's why I chose being a plumber over an electrician. It's the worst day I'm gonna get wet. Maybe touch food.
We're burned.
Yeah, I'd rather get wet than.
Yeah, but when you don't really know the trade, that's what you think, right? Okay. No more air in the system. Isolate shutoff valve 2. The gauge is going to be held to the air inlet side. Okay, I want to get myself comfortable. Okay, isolate number 1. Open low side. Okay, open high side, not low side. Slowly. There, everybody can see the speed that I have it going. Nice and slow. This is not a rush.
It's at roughly a quarter turn, right?
Yeah. As soon as the air inlet pops, that's letting air in, the gauge is going to drop out.
Is this screwdriver doing anything right now?
Nope. Screwdriver is just for my sensation of when that thing pops. I can feel it with my hand, so I don't have to be looking at it. You know, I'm doing it a little bit too slow. This could be a little bit faster.
Real slow.
Want me to track that a little more? Or?
No. No, I want it purposely slow.
So you want this part to take like 30 seconds, a minute?
Once you find this slow speed, you will get more comfortable.
The anticipation is killing me.
She's gonna blow.
The number we're looking for is 1. And above.
Minimum 1 or more.
Okay.
There we go. 1.4. Okay? If you don't do it that slowly, it'll bounce real quick from you. Okay? So 1.4 air inlet opening. Now, it says at this stage, there's 2 ways you can do this. You can open this bleed valve all the way and leave it draining that way. Or what I like to do, I want to see the water. So remove that, go over, and I'm going to write down that 1.4. Okay? And then wait for it to fully drain. Okay, once it's fully drained, I'm going to confirm that the air inlet is fully off of it. See, everybody come take a look at that little plastic piece is sitting now.
Oh.
See that clear's dropped down?
Yeah.
And it's not dropped down where it's pinching on one side. The whole thing is dropped down. That's what you're looking for. That's what you're letting the proctor know. The air inlet is fully open.
finger there.
Reasons?
Oh, and open a hole.
All right. Close shut-off valve number 1. Now this air inlet's gonna raise, and this is one of the problems with these guys, is if they don't seat themselves, there's a lot of water damage. So I'm gonna try to get it, sometimes they just seat almost every single time. I'm trying to do it where it won't. So if you didn't have enough water pressure coming back in, it doesn't seat. We have a lot of water damage, and this will just keep running and running and running, okay? But I did this for this purpose, to bring that float up. Now the float's sitting here, now you're gonna go pull. That's all I should hear. That's the bump I'm looking for. See that relief on this one?
So if you just slammed it open right off the bat. then
One, it's
you're
gonna raise by
make
itself,
that
and
right.
it's gonna possibly destroy this whole top piece. Or you're gonna destroy your air inlet, and it'll break into pieces. That means parts could be flying at you. You get some bigger ones, like 2-inch ones, you got sections of brass kind of ripping off and shooting at your eyeballs. So everybody's gotta have their safety glasses on. Okay, so now we've got that up.
Safety contacts.
Test number 2 is gonna be checking check valve. And there's only one check valve, that's why I didn't call it check valve number 1. This time, try not to get wrapped garage.
Stuff.
On test day, we can just grab whatever equipment we like, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So I want this at center. What I'm really doing is I'm resting my hand right here with the gauge. That's a little bit easier for me to hold on to it. That way it stays in position. Okay? Isolate out. And in this case, we no longer use the low or high bleed. We open test cock number 2.
Wait till she stops dripping.
100% stops dripping.
So if that didn't see, then means there's something stuck in the check valve, right?
Yes.
Shut off.
On the check. So shut off one's not holding.
Yeah.
Breaking that, causing the vacuum to stop. He's also holding steady, so I'm just gonna wait for this thing to stop dripping.
How are you testing the check is holding though?
It's holding water
Yeah,
prior to
yeah. So you're just relying on that little bit of water above to
the,
push down?
below it, right? So from the supply side, it's
Yeah.
trapping that water, the check is holding that much back.
Yeah.
So the spring tension, so that's why I can still read something.
Oh, I
If
see.
it didn't, it made it through the check, open to atmosphere, 0 out, just like we did the air inlet.
So then your check is filled.
Nope, my check is holding because I'm
No,
looking.
I know in that situation.
Oh yeah, then it's failing. So okay, so I've given it sufficient time. This has got 2 PSID, and this is where you ask Proctor because it still kind of has a little bit of a drip. So it's still got a little bit of drip, but is this okay? Because I've given it sufficient time. And they'll be like, yep, awesome. Take your reading. Equipment down, write 2 PSID down. Once again, close both, because I opened both on this one, right? Once both are closed, speed I bump it at now, okay? First time I did a little slower. Of that much. Just like that, okay? The first time I purposely did it really slow because I wanted it to continue to leak for you. Okay.
So when you do it that slow, it'll always be leaking out of the top, so that's like,
Yeah, I'm letting that air inlet float up nice and easy. I don't want to hammer it.
Let it flow a little bit and then
Yeah.
just.
Yeah, let it flow a little bit, right? Okay, shut off 2 is always closed. Now we're taking our line pressure test. Open. Open. And this one is fluctuating 58. So I'll take it at 58. It's right around that 58 to 60, so I'll take the lower side, 58.
Drew, at what point do you check off close tight?
On this one,
Yeah.
did it hold 1 PSID or more?
Okay, so as long as it holds that one
Yeah.
or more on the,
Even though it might close at 0.5, and the manual says anything below 1 is still leaking.
yeah.
So it didn't close tight, it was leaking below 1. So you never check off close tight. So 1 or more in direction of flow.
And that's both for the air inlet and the check valve.
That is correct. Okay, so that's good. Wipe down all your equipment. Make sure there's nothing dripping. Everything's good. Take the canopy, put it back on, and then say, do I have permission to put the assembly back into service? Yes, you do. You'd open it in the field, you'd go find out who's ever downstream of it and make sure that they don't have an open end. Okay? This one is not a lot of steps. It's very similar to the D.